In this module, we want to talk about how to create a turnkey business. So, what do we mean by a turnkey business? That's a phrase that we use. You hear people use that phrase from time to time, particularly business owners. Here's a definition that I got from Philip Paul Bear, and I think it's a very good one. He says, a turnkey business is one that comes complete with an operations manual, purchased in a condition ready for immediate occupation, whereas the buyer only has to, quote, turn the key for the operation to start. In other words, another person could take this business over, follow the manual, and run it just as effectively and just as successfully as you can, the founder or original business owner. And so for you to really maximize your business, for you to get free from all the demands and the pull that comes on you as a business owner, you've got to work toward creating a turnkey business. And I'll be honest with you, most business owners never achieve this. But you can, and I want you to believe it that you can. But they don't because it's hard. It takes work and it takes some time. But you can do it. I like this quote by Vince Lombardi. It's in your notes. He said, the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. The only business owners I've ever known, and I have known several, who have created operations manuals and turnkey businesses, the only ones who've been able to pull that off are business owners who have a high commitment to excellence. They want to be the best business owner they can possibly be, and they want their business to be the best business it can possibly be in their industry. And so where we start is with the systems checklist, and you have that in your notes, in your handouts there. And the systems checklist is a starting place to get your head around how to organize an operations manual. An operations manual typically has 5 components to it, and they're built around the 5 systems. If you've been studying some of our other training modules, you've heard me talk about this. The 5 key systems that you want to document that are critical to having a turnkey business is your marketing system, your selling system, your operations or fulfillment system, your administrative system, and your HR system. Those 5 systems, you might think of your operations manual as having 5 dividers or 5 tabs or 5 chapters. Those are your 5 parts that make up your operations manual. And so where do you start? Do you have to start with the marketing and then go to sales and then go to operations? No, you don't have to do that. Here's what I'd recommend you do. You have an exercise in your notes, and it says, my current reality. And the question asks, what are the 3 best systems or processes in my business today? I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to answer that question. I want you to identify what are the 3 best systems or processes that are currently at work in my business. And then on the right side there, I want you to write down, why are you considering those your best? And there's a reason you're thinking that, and I want you to write that reason down. So start by identifying your 3 best systems or processes. And they may be 3 processes within your marketing system. It doesn't matter where they fall in that outline of 5. Just identify this is what's working best. And then once you complete that exercise, go to the next one that says, what are the 3 least effective and most troublesome systems or processes in my business today? And I want you to think about that. Where do you keep having fires? Where are those problems that keep consuming your time? Where do you keep making the same mistakes or consistent mistakes for your customers or within your organization? Identify those 3 systems that you would say are the least effective or most troublesome. Write them down, and then on the right side it says, what trouble does this system or process create? Write down, what does it create? And I want you to get in your mind a clear picture. These are the processes that are working well. These are the processes that are troublesome or not working. And so get that in your mind, And where you start is your most troublesome system or process. Just start with that. And you've already got the outline in mind. You've got the 5 major systems, and you know under each of those systems you're going to have a number of different processes or procedures. So start with the one that's most troublesome, and then sit down and start writing down how should it work, and start documenting that. And in our follow-up videos here, we're going to show you how to do that, how to go through that process of documenting. And I love what Michael Gerber said, and he says this still today. He said, if it's in your head, it's an idea. You might say, I know how this process should work, or I know how this system should work. That's great. If it's in your head, it's an idea. But when you write it down, when it's on paper, then it's an asset. So you want to document your system. So type it up, write it down, get it on paper, so you know exactly how this process or this system should flow and how it should work. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't have time for that. Who has time to do that? Well, there are a lot of ways you can do it, and maybe the first time you just do this one yourself, and then I'm going to give you some suggestions as we go through this module on ways that you can do this in a timely manner, because I know sometimes when people start this process, they get into it and they get bogged down, and they get discouraged, and they never finish it. So I want you to think about the fact that there are actually 3 levels of work in your business. Number 1, there's the technical work. The technical work is actually the actual work your company does, whatever it is. If you make widgets, if you clean pools, if you build fences, or whatever that technical work is, that's the first level of work. And most business owners, when they start their businesses, they're pretty good technicians. They do something well. They have a trade, a skill, some knowledge, and they do it well. They're technicians, and they're good at the technical level of work. However, you're not going to grow your business, you're not going to scale your business, and you're not going to be able to create a turnkey business if you don't go to the second level, which is management, the manager level of work. And the manager is the one who begins to think about systems and processes. So you as the business owner, you've got to get yourself out of the trenches, out of the technical work, and start doing some managing and start thinking about your systems and processes and how they really should flow and operate. And then that third level of work is the leader work, the strategic business leader work. And that's where you're thinking about the big picture, and you're thinking about how this business should and will one day operate. So you're going to have to get out of the trenches, stop doing so much technical work, start doing more management work, and start doing some strategic leadership work in your business. And so just to wrap up this section, I want to close by telling you about a strategic business leader is. You might think of this as the strategic business owner. A strategic business owner is one who embraces leverage. They get greater results with less time, effort, and headaches. They find ways to work smarter, not harder. And so as you start thinking more like a strategic business leader, you're going to think, how can I get more done with less time? You don't want to work more hours, obviously. A strategic business owner focuses on the entire business, not just the technical work of the business. They're looking at all these 5 systems and the processes in each of those systems. A strategic business owner thinks and acts like an executive, like a CEO, not an employee. A strategic business owner develops plans, procedures, and policies. They document everything for clarity, communication, and consistency. A strategic business owner excels at leadership, not doership. And that's a big hurdle or a big transition for many business owners to make in their minds. A strategic business owner learns to let go. They learn to trust their people and their systems. And so to sum it up, the strategic business, properly designed or redesigned, should function practically without you. It should run predictably, consistently, and automatically, whether you're there or not. And it should be systems dependent, not owner dependent. So that's where we're going with this module. I want you to begin thinking about that, complete that exercise, and pick out what is that first system or process you need to start working on.